Assalamualaikum and greetings, Doctor. My name is Muhammad Amir Haziq, metric number 281678. Today I will be presenting the third question, question number 3 from assignment 1. So the first question demands us to construct a frequency and relative frequency distribution. So what we have done is we have created a 5-column table here, where the first column is class, next is frequency, the third column is relative frequency, fourth column is cumulative frequency, and the fifth column is midpoint. So as stated from the problem statement, the first class should have a lower class cut point of 8. So here in the first class we have the class start with 8 and class width of 2. In order for the class to have a class width of 2, we have to ensure that the upper limit of the second class minus the upper limit of the previous class equals to 2. So in this case, 11.9 minus 9.9 equals to 2.0. And same for the lower class. So if the lower class minus the lower class before it equals to 2, then the class has a class width of 2. So next is the frequency. Frequency basically groups the data into its appropriate classes. Relative frequency is the frequency over the total, the sum of the frequency. Cumulative frequency is a number whereby uh, the frequency before it is added to it. So as we move down the row, as we consecutively add up the number from the previous frequencies until we get the total sample size. And for midpoint, midpoint is the middle point of the classes. In order to get the midpoint, we have to add the lower boundary of the class plus the upper boundary of the class divided by 2. And we are able to get the following midpoints. Next is question B, where we have to construct a histogram for the frequency distribution table from the previous question A. So when we do construct a histogram table, it will look like the following diagram. The horizontal axis will represent the classes, the vertical axis represent the frequency, and the bars represent the frequencies in their respective classes.
Hello, my name is AHMAD bin MUSTAFFA 264502. Today I'm going to explain about question number 3C, which is describe the shape of the distribution. Okay, to describe the shape of distribution, we need to refer to the question number B that we have construct the histogram table. So based on the shape of the histogram, it can be said that it is skewed to the right. Okay, next for the question D, construct polygon. Okay, to do a polygon table, we need to refer to question A, that table that we have construct. Okay, for y-axis, it has to be stated as frequency, and for x-axis, midpoint. Okay, for example, frequency 6, midpoint 8.95. So we put a dot at there. Okay, then go to the next frequency and midpoint, which is frequency 11, midpoint 10.9, frequency 9, midpoint 12.95, frequency 8, midpoint 14.95, frequency 7, midpoint 60.95, frequency 4, midpoint 18.95, and frequency 4 also, midpoint 20.95. Then frequency 1, midpoint 22.95, and also the same frequency 1, midpoint 24.95. After we have dot all the frequency and midpoint, then we just draw a line to connect the dot, and it will be a polygon table. Okay, next let's go for the question E, prepare a cumulative frequency distribution. Okay, for this question, um, we have to construct a table exactly like table in question A, but the difference is here. We have to add two new item, which are lower boundary and upper boundary. Okay, classes frequency, relative frequency, cumulative frequency also same exactly as table A. But the new one is lower boundary and upper boundary. Okay, lower boundary we can take from classes. As you can see from classes, there is 8.0 until 9.9. Okay, so that's the lower boundary. The first one, the 8.0, and for the upper boundary is 9.9. So we just refer the classes column and put it in lower boundary and upper boundary. Okay, next, question F, construct an OGIF for the cumulative frequency distribution. Okay, OGIF diagram is exactly same like histogram table, but the difference is for y-axis, for OGIF, it should be cumulative frequency, and for x-axis, it is upper boundaries. Okay, after we have all the information that we needed, cumulative frequency and upper boundaries, we just refer to that table and put a dot until it make a line. Okay, that's all for OGIF table.
Next is question G, where we have to find the mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. So for the mean, we will use the formula sum of Fm over n. F is the frequency, m is the midpoint, n is the sample set. So we get the following. We just put in the numbers and we get 14.4402. So for median, we also use a formula and we just input the numbers from the tables uh, into the formula, and we will get 12 plus 1.89, and the answer is 13.89. Next, we will calculate the mode. So for the mode, we use a formula. So here we have L. This L stands for the lower boundary of the mode class. Here we have delta 1 over delta 1 plus delta 2. Delta 1 will be the mode's frequency minus the frequency of the class before it. Um, this delta 1 is the same as the delta 1 below it, and the delta 1 below it will add delta 2, and for delta 2 it will be the frequency of the mode class minus the frequency of the class after it. And here we have I is the class width. So once we input all the numbers in, we will get the following and simplify into 10 plus 1.43, and we get the answer 11.43. Next is variance. So for variance, we will use a formula, and the formula is sum of Fm minus sum of Fm square over n, and the equation above will divide by n minus 1. So F is the frequency, M is the midpoint, N is the sample set. So we put in the numbers, we will get 296.7009 over 51.01, and we get the answer 5.93. Next is standard deviation. So in order to get standard deviation, it is basically the square root of the variance. So we input the variance into the square root. So here we have 5.934018, and the square root of that number is 2.44, which is the answer for the standard deviation. With that being said, this has been the presentation of solutions for question 3, assignment 1. We would like to wish thank you to all the viewers for watching this video, and have a good day. Assalamualaikum.